What's good, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the series where we're talking about how you can start a career as an engineer in the UK. Now that you've landed your job, you have attained your visa, let's talk about what you're going to expect or what you're probably going to get when you move into the UK workforce. So in today's episode, I'm going to talk about everything from office dynamics to communication styles and all bits and bobs about what you can expect to find when you move to the UK and start working. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is the office environment and work-life balance. So one thing that I have noticed is in the UK, there's a strong emphasis on work-life balance. So most engineers work somewhere between 35 to 40 hours a week. And there's also a flexible work culture that came into play post-COVID. So certain people work entirely from home if your role allows you to, and then some people work a few days from home, some days in the office. And there's also a flexible coming into work time. So unlike back home for me, I was supposed to be at work by 8 o'clock. Here, I have to be at work anytime before 10. So what that means is you can get into the office anytime before 10. Right? But by 10 o'clock, everybody should be in the office if you're working from the office. Even if you're working from home, by 10, somebody should be on their computer or doing work stuff. Now, I will not stress this enough. Please be punctual. You can't be given such a leeway to be in the office anytime you want before 10 and still be late. That is ridiculous. Don't be late, because here I have seen that people really value their time. And I never really used to be punctual, but now I am. I really understand what it means to be on time, be it for work or any other appointment outside of work. Just be on time. You also find that there's a strong belief in teamwork and collaboration. So there will never be a time when you feel alone in a project or you feel like you can't ask the next person if you need help, or your immediate supervisor if you need help with any project or any task that you might be given. Though there is total autonomy on your work, you can still look for help if you feel like you're confused or you don't understand something, and people are always readily available to help you. Another thing that I've seen is with any company, be it here in the UK or back home, there's a certain hierarchy anyway, and you're supposed to, listen to that hierarchy and take it as it is. If you have a problem, obviously you go to the immediate supervisor, they take it up, blah, 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 blah. But here in the UK, that hierarchy is not as rigid. There's been so many times when out of the blue, I've just looked behind me and boom, my manager is right there. And then I'm thinking, oh, are you here to do something? Or are you looking at my work? And they're just passing by to just say hi, you see. So I believe that opens a door for, your subordinates or us as his subordinates to freely be able to talk to him whenever we need something or whenever you feel you want to talk to them. So there is no strict law that is built in stone to say you can't approach your manager before you approach your immediate supervisor if you need to do so. And I believe that is something that is really good because it gives channel for, two-way communication between the bosses and the subordinates, which is a really good thing. And then the second thing that I am going to talk about is communication and problem solving styles or skills in the office. That is something that you really need. So UK communication is quite indirect when it comes to giving specific feedback. So they will never come at you and say, you are bad at doing this, or you didn't do this in the right way. It's more so, Tino, when you executed this task, I believe you could have done it in this way. That way you could have saved time or you could have saved material. And I feel it's an effective way of completing this task. So it will never be, you wasted material, you wasted company time, you did A, B, C, D. No, they'll never come at you like that. They'll talk to you in an indirect, encouraging way. And I think it's a really good thing because it doesn't make you feel small, it doesn't make you lose your confidence, and it also just doesn't make you feel out of place, because when people start throwing daggers at you, trust me, you might just want to pack your bag and go back to your country. But no, they will build you up and give you constructive criticism in an indirect way, which is really good, because at the end of the day, we can still be smiling at each other after that. When it comes to problem solving, expect to work in teams. Like I said before, teamwork and collaboration is a big thing here. And once in a while, or I don't know how frequent you're going to be in meetings, but when you are in meetings, everybody is given a chance to say something, and everyone's idea or plan or whatever is taken into consideration. So never feel like you're too small or you're just starting, so nobody will understand you or will take your idea into consideration. Everyone is given a chance to speak, and everyone can speak and put their point across without having to be thrown out or made to feel like their point is not significant. So let your voice be heard and say all the right things. Now, the third thing that I'm going to talk about is workplace etiquette. Now, I know one thing for sure that I will say is time management. Honestly, be punctual. Like I said earlier, there's flexible coming into work times, but with that flexibility, don't abuse it and don't be late. Just be on time all the time, because time is really precious and it's a big thing here. Another thing is dress accordingly. If you're going to work and, well, the dress code is formal, dress formally. If it's smart casual, dress like that, but always look presentable and always, hold yourself high and feel good about yourself, because when you look good, you feel good. Another thing is establishing a good relationship with your workmates goes a long way, because it's so difficult to go to a person and ask for help if there's animosity between you, or you don't talk to them, or you don't have a good relationship. So honestly, you spend like 8 hours with these people. The best thing you can do for yourself and to make your life a better place is to have good relations with your work colleagues, because most time you spend awake is in the office or at work. So honestly, make the most of it, because you can't be spending the next 20 years of your life being mad every time you think about going to the office. And then the other thing that I will specifically talk about, especially for my African friends, I know our foods always have these strong pungent smells because of all the spices and the flavors that we use in our food. When you carry your lunch pack or whatever food that you've carried, and you know for certain that it's going to have that strong pungent smell, please don't eat at your desk. Because, okay, it's not like it's a rule, but I'm just saying, you will end up making other people feel uncomfortable, because maybe somebody might not like the smell of the food that you have. Or if you are comfortable with it, you could just choose to change the food that you want to eat. But no, don't change the food. Just make sure you eat in an appropriate place, be it the kitchen or the canteen, but don't be at your desk if you're going to have a food that has a strong smell, because that will just make other people uncomfortable in a space that you share. And then I think the last thing that I'll talk about is fragrance. Like I said before, when you look good, you feel good. Now, don't have an overpowering perfume or fragrance or whatever that when you walk into an office, now everybody's like, oh, Tino is here. No, just have something subtle, fresh. You still smell nice, but it's not overpowering to the point where people are sneezing, or some people even get headaches, because you never know what conditions other people have. So you just need to be considerate of all that. Now, that's it for today's episode. I feel like I was telling you off a lot, but I think it's so necessary to just know how to be around other people so you don't feel like an alien and they also feel comfortable around you. Next episode, I am going to be talking about salary expectations and how you can negotiate for a higher salary and a few more benefits in the job that you'll be applying for in the UK. So I know a lot of people are going to be there for that, because who doesn't like money? Now, if you want to see that video, be sure to turn on your post notifications so when I post, you get to know about it. But in the meantime, just leave a question down below about anything you might want to know about office life in the UK, and I'll be sure to respond to that.